Hi folks, Dusty here. One of my biggest frustrations throughout my adult life has been that I've always been starting from a deficit. And all I wanted to do is start from zero. It seemed that everything would just go smoother if I could start from zero instead of starting from a negative position. Whether it be owing more than I was going to bring in for the day, or having not enough time to complete something that needed to be completed that day. We've been conditioned and believe that zero has no value. It's worthless. Nobody wants zero. But that's not true. For years, I strove to make it to that point where I was starting from a balanced position, a zero every day. Because I was so tired of starting from below zero. At that point, any bit of progress or value that you bring in that day is a blessing. When you're starting from a negative, you need to make up that negative to get back to zero. Then on top of that, you need to create more value to get above zero. And it's not only about money. It can be about a big project at school or work. You have this massive project that you need to get done, and you don't have enough time to do it. Let's say you're preparing for a hurricane and you need to protect your house. A house that is lower than the surrounding area is similar to starting from a deficit. That house needs, say, 1,500 sandbags to protect it. Now, if that house, instead of being lower than the surrounding area, is at grade or level with the surrounding area, or say at zero, now you only need to fill 900 bags. So then that value of zero becomes shockingly real. It's not zero anymore. That value of zero, starting from zero, is 600 bags that you don't have to buy, fill, and stack when you're running out of time. And that's a very practical viewpoint. And that's the viewpoint I had for years. But maybe it's time to change that perspective, change that point of view. Was I wrong? I don't think so. For years, I looked at it from a construction viewpoint. What's one of the first things you need to do when you build a house? Most often, you need to dig a hole. You need solid footing. And when that footing is below the ground, that means that house is less vulnerable to outside attacks and more resilient. But recently, I started thinking about it from another viewpoint. Picture a slingshot, just laying on the table with a stone. It is at rest. The stone is at rest. They're both idle. There's no potential energy. There's no kinetic energy. That stone will never reach its target. Neither the stone nor the slingshot will move unless they are acted on by an outside force. That outside force must pull them in the opposite direction. I've never liked being idle. I've always viewed it as stagnant, and I don't like stagnancy. Stagnancy has no value when it comes to success. So why was I striving for zero? Why was I striving for stagnancy and being idle? Sometimes in life, especially when it comes to success, our biggest obstacle lives in our heads rent-free, and it's not doing us any good. I think it's time to make room, evict the negative thoughts, and create space for only things that are going to help us and improve us and propel us forward. So maybe this will help you look at your situation with a little more clarity. Is there something or someone that's pulling you back, beating you down? And if so, is it going to be beneficial to you in the end, or is it just dragging you down? Recognizing the difference between someone who is going to propel you forward and someone who is just constantly sucking the life out of you is very important to getting ahead in life. It's easy to tell when somebody is dragging you down and doing you no good whatsoever. But it's a lot more difficult to tell when that person or that event is doing that to you to put you in a position to push you forward way beyond what you expect. So I know I really needed to see things from that point of view, and I needed to hear it for myself. What are your thoughts? Are there things in your life that are pulling you back, that are just getting ready, getting you in position to slingshot you forward? I hope so. Well, that's all for now, folks. As always, take the trip and enjoy the ride.